guys, welcome back to The Bright Side. Macy here, The Bright Side Girl, and today we are starting a scary Halloween themed reading vlog. So I said I was gonna vlog all through October, and I thought it would be fun to have a theme. So I'm gonna push myself a little bit out of my comfort zone, and we're gonna read some books that I think might legitimately scare me. I've hauled a couple of these over the past few years. Honestly, there is a chance that none of them will be scary. Finding the more I dip my toe into gothic literature, horror, all those kinds of things, that they're not as scary as they seem. And I'm pretty good about avoiding ones that seem like they're gonna be very, very gory or upsetting or traumatic. So it's kind of hard for me to find the sweet spot. So if you really love to be terrified this time of year, these books will be nothing to you. I'm sure of that. But if you're kind of a baby like me and you like Halloween spooky season, but you're curious about some of these reads, this might be a fun vlog. Either way, we might be terrified. It is Monday, October 9th. I usually work outside of the home on Mondays, but since it's Columbus Day, we don't have shipping until Tuesday. So I will be working out of the home tomorrow, but I'm gonna go ahead and prep for shipping since the extra day makes it a little bit busier. So this afternoon I'm gonna head over and do some work. So I'll have some time to do some audiobooking. Okay, so Dawn Katurgic is one of the main reasons, I'm gonna take this sticker off while we're talking, that I wanted to do this reading vlog, because I read Dead House a couple years ago as a buddy read with my friend Amy, who really likes darker reads like that. And I also wanted to read it because it had mixed media. So a lot of the book had pictures and images and transcripts and video surveillance, and it was done so well. It was definitely a little bit more gory and intense than what I personally enjoy. I don't always love a modern gothic read, but the writing style was very good and it definitely kept you reading. I wouldn't say it terrified me, but it was definitely on the scarier side. So then last year I read, hold on, And the Trees Crept In on audio. I may have done this for a vlog. If I did, I'll link it down below. And again, we have slightly mixed media in here, but not enough that I feel like I needed to read the book. I do feel like it might have enhanced the creepiness just a tiny bit, because there would be scribbled notes on the wall and stuff. But the audio had a little bit of mixed media too, because at one point there was a lady in a rocking chair and you could hear the rocking chair and it would be creak, creak. The narrator would do that, and it was so scary. It was so creepy. The atmosphere was so good, and this was so interesting because it's set in a modern atmosphere, but in the house there's no technology and things, so it had more of an older vibe about it, and you really just don't know what is happening in this book. Now, while this one was creepy and scary, it does have some trigger warnings for some trauma and abuse and different things that happen to our main characters in here. I don't want to go into too much detail because I'm not reading this for this reading vlog, and this one has a little bit of a sad undertone as well, but it was done so beautifully and it definitely creeped me out a little bit. Her writing is just so good that I'm willing to be a little bit more scared. So I'm waiting for my audio of Teeth in the Mist to come in. I don't know anything about it. I kind of prefer that. Honestly though, this one has some mixed media in it as well. So I'm debating on what to do because I loved the narrator for the other one. It definitely made it creepier, but then I don't want to miss out on some of this stuff either. I may just physically read it because I have another week wait on the audiobook, but we're gonna see. But this is the main one I wanted to read this week because I feel like it will probably scare me a little bit. Okay, so that's one plan. And then the overall goal is I want to finish at least 3 or 4 books this week. So this could wrap up the video in 4 days. It could wrap up in a little longer than a week. We're just gonna see if I'm really enjoying myself. We'll just keep going with this stack. I've got some thrillers in here, which the thrillers I've read so far, while they do have murder and darker content, have not been scary, which is fine. I'm okay if they're not. But we're just gonna test it and see what happens. The goal is not necessarily to get scared, but it's just to kind of read some things that might be out of my comfort zone. So these are some of the books I have in mind. I definitely won't get to all of them. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so I have My Lovely Wife by Samantha Downing. Again, I'm going to use this one on audio. This one I feel like will be the least scary, but we'll use it as a palate cleanser. So in this one we have a couple that falls in love, gets married, moves to the suburbs, they get bored and decide to start murdering people for fun. So I think it's going to be more thrilling and fun and less scary. We'll see. Then we have Horror Store by Grady Hendrix. I've been recommended Grady Hendrix a couple of times because I have heard that his books are a little more campy and silly. Again, I don't think this one's going to be very scary, but it's basically set at like a haunted IKEA. Again, we've got some mixed media in here a little bit and like an instruction manual. It's not actually at IKEA, but it's basically based off of that kind of a vibe. So I thought that might be kind of fun to read. This is one that I really want to get to this season. We have The Creeping by Alexandra Sarawi, and this is If You Hunt for Monsters, You'll Find Them. This is a YA horror, which tend to be a little bit less scary, but this one seems like it might be really scary. It could just be the cover. It says a haunting modern day folk tale of the darkest sense of the word. So this says 11 years ago, Stelly and Jeannie disappeared, only Stella came back. Now all she wants is a summer full of Cove Days friends and her gorgeous crush until a fresh corpse leads Stella down a path of ancient evil and secrets. So this could be something that I really, really love if it's got like a little bit of a magic element to it. I don't know. We'll see. Again, I don't know if I can find this on audio, so might have to physically read it. We have Another Little Piece by Kate Karras Quinn, and in this one I know that the main reason I picked it up is because I heard someone say that she wakes up in the beginning in the woods covered in blood and she doesn't know why. And again, I'm not like this gory, super scary type girl, but we're just trying things out and seeing how they go. And it's YA, so again, should be kind of mild. We embrace the dark side for spooky season. And then we have Slasher Girls and Monster Boys. This is a YA anthology told by some of our very, very favorites. I believe it's YA. There are short stories, scary short stories in here from Kendar Blake, Marie Lu, Megan Shepard, Kat Winters, a bunch of my favorite authors. And I want to get to some of these. I think some might be a little bit on the scary, creepy side. Jay Kristoff has one in here, like a lot of my favorites. So we're going to try and listen to one of these a day at least. Or let's see. There are like 13 stories in here, so we'll try to get to like 1 or 2 a day and see how it goes. And then finally, what we're starting today is going to be Home Before Dark by Riley Sager. This is going to be my first Riley Sager, and this is an adult thriller. I've heard his books are not that scary, but I feel like it's going to be scary to me. So in this one, bells that ring themselves, record players that turn on and play music in empty rooms, ghosts that climb out of wardrobes. Maggie Holt doesn't believe in these things, even though they are details of the story that made her family famous. 25 years ago, she and her parents, Ewan and Jess, moved into Banbury Hall, a rambling Victorian estate in the Vermont woods, and they spent 20 days there before fleeing in the dead of the night. An ordeal Ewan later recounted in a horror memoir, House of Horrors. His tale of ghostly happenings and encounters with malevolent spirits become a worldwide phenomenon, rivaling Amityville horror in popularity and skepticism. So we've got like a haunted house situation. I feel like this one probably will scare me. And this is what we're starting with today. We're going to do it on audio. We're going to do it while I'm working and all that kind of jazz. Unfortunately, I won't have a lot of time to check in while I'm at work, but I can check in when I get home. If something really crazy scary happens, I'll pop in and let you guys know. And then the only other thing that I want to get to, because I wanted to stick to things that I actually owned, was We Have Always Lived in the Castle by Shirley Jackson. I have the audio for this. Again, I've heard that it's not actually scary or got kind of a gothic literature vibe. I'm assuming there's ghosts in a haunted house. It's a short audio, so we're going to squeeze this in. That's the plan. So if that sounds fun, follow along. I will probably see you again in this exact same position because I won't really have any time to film. We're going to make some Halloween food. We're going to do some more Halloween crafts and just kind of all the things I do in October. So there'll be some fun stuff to look forward to. I want to address this very quickly. I have very bad allergies in the fall. We have these crazy Santa Ana winds that come in, and they're like these hot, dusty winds, bring in like a bunch of allergies and issues. I already have bad allergies in the fall with like ragweed and stuff. It will definitely affect like my mood and make me feel a little bit sadder and more anxious and easy to upset. So if any of these books bother me too much to where they're like really affecting my everyday life, then we're going to DNF or just like pause and move on, because I'm going to be a little bit more sensitive right now with everything that's going on. My throat is so sore today and my energy is a little bit lower, but maybe that'll make me easier to scare. We'll see. I just want to give you guys a heads up and we're gonna get going. I'm gonna start my first audiobook. Hey guys, I am back home. It is almost 8:30 p.m. I worked a little bit later than I was planning. I didn't work all day. It was only a half day, but like more towards the end of the day. We kind of prep for shipping the next day. I got a good chunk of Home Before Dark done and I have some thoughts. So first of all, the narrators are fantastic. I really like the writing style so far and the storytelling. This has a super interesting premise. I went in kind of blind. Basically, years ago, this couple with their child bought this house that had a death in it. It's kind of on the market for a while and nobody was wanting to move into it because of this. And they move in and then some strange things start to happen and the dad like uncovers some more secrets about the house. Fast forward and he has written a popular horror novel about the house called House of Horrors. I think I talked about this a little bit. It's supposed to be nonfiction and his daughter, who's now an adult, believes that this is not true. She has no memory of hauntings or anything happening in the house. I don't think they were there for very long when she was like 5 or 6. She feels like the version of herself that her father told in the book is inaccurate, and then her parents won't really talk about the book and they've gotten kind of famous off of this book. And so you're following the daughter as an adult, Maggie, and she finds out that her dad never sold the house and she basically inherits it after he dies, and she decides to go and like fix it up to sell it and uncover some of the past because she wants to know what really happened, whether they made up the story, whether it was just to like sell a lot of books or get famous or whatever. Her mom is still not telling her like anything about it, and she's going and like talking to different people in the town about the story. And so it very much has a creepy haunted house vibe. So this was an excellent choice because it is definitely creepy and eerie and atmospheric and a little bit spooky, scary, a little bit more than normal for me, but nothing like insanely gory is happening, nothing like overly traumatic or intense. So far this is my vibe and I'm doing good with it. Like I was definitely like a little bit creeped out, but I'm okay with that. I got about 4 hours in on audio and then I have about 7 hours left. So that'll probably take me like 3 hours or so at the speed I listen to. Enjoying it. Forgot to mention earlier in last week's vlog, which should be up already, so I'll link that up in the cards as well as down below. I had started Name of the Star by Maureen Johnson and got about halfway through. So I do want to read the rest of this week. This one is kind of like a ghost story, paranormal, dark academia book that I'm really enjoying. I would say it's definitely a little bit creepy, but kind of more like fun creepy. I don't think this is going to be one that's like going to scare me or anything, but I do want to finish it since I started it last week. So right now I'm just going to take a bath, relax for a minute, maybe watch something, or maybe physically read. Tomorrow is my big work day. I'm going to be gone most of the day. You're going to have a little bit of a boring vlog again. I'll try to spice it up if I can, but the rest of the week should be fun. We're going to do some fun activities and hopefully we can read some awesome, slightly scary books. It is bright and early on Tuesday morning. I'm getting ready to head to work. Jeff actually has the day off today, so he is coming with me. I'm going a little bit early to try and get it done a little bit faster so that we can kind of hang out later. Okay, so I read last night. I got to 250 pages, so I have a little over 100 pages left. I'm gonna try to finish this today. It's getting a little spookier and creepier. I wasn't planning on this being one of the like scary books, but it's a little bit. It's a little bit there. I'm loving the dark academia vibes. I'm loving the paranormal vibes. I'm loving the world building so far. The London setting, perfection. It's just like perfect for October. And this is a full trilogy, so I might read the second book sometime soon. We'll see. And then today I'm going to try to get another chunk done of this one, see how far I can get at work. Again, if anything like super intense happens, I will pop in and let you know that I'm terrified, but so far so good. I'm not sure if we're doing anything else today. It depends on how soon I get done with work. But we're going to head out and start our day. I'll probably be like this again when you see me, but I'll check in soon. Morning and happy Thursday. All right, so this vlog is not going quite as well as I wanted it to. I was so exhausted after work on Tuesday that I just didn't have the energy to check in, and then it kind of carried over into yesterday / I didn't listen to anything else yesterday. I did go to a cute little Halloween boutique last night, so that was the clips that you saw before this day, and I got some cute spooky earrings that I'll show you in a second. My main goal for this vlog is to read at least 3 or 4 books and we are one book down so far, and it's Thursday, and it makes me so sad because I'm trying to cram as many books in as possible for October, but with the combination of me just not feeling the best with the allergies and having a lot of podcasts to catch up on, which I really enjoy, it's kind of a balance act. Anyway, I have reading updates. So Tuesday, I read one chapter from my anthology, or one story from my anthology. Let me see who wrote this one. Okay, so this is The Birds of Azalea Street by Nova Ren Suma, who I don't know. This story was written so well, and I did enjoy it overall, but it did have very, very dark in the way that I don't like content. I don't want to give away like too much about the stories, but it is kind of about a man kind of creeps and stalks on young girls, which is not something I love, but it did kind of have a cool element in here, and it was told really well. If it was a longer story, I don't think I would have finished it, but because it was in the anthology, it was fine. So that one for me personally was probably like a 3-star, but I feel like a lot of people will really like it. I'm definitely not going to finish this week, but I'll try and carry it over into the other vlogs for however long that it takes. Then I did finish Home Before Dark by Riley Sager. I wish that I had gotten a chance to check in with you guys. I have very mixed feelings. So first of all, this is definitely a thriller. I did find it like fairly fast-paced and interesting and thrilling along the ride. Similar to like an Alice Feeney style book. I do still think most of the thrillers that I have read are just a tad bit on the long side. This one definitely is spookier and creepier than what I'm used to, than a lot of the books that I recommend. It definitely has those good haunted house vibes. I was definitely like creeped out and a little bit scared while listening to it. It wasn't like over the top. It didn't have like super gory elements or anything, so that was good. So this was like a good balance for me. I was interested in it the whole time. It has a dual timeline where we're following the story of the father in the past and then also the daughter in the future, kind of tying those together. So I really enjoyed that dual timeline quite a bit. I wouldn't say this was filled with likable characters, but I would say that I didn't hate the characters either. Like they weren't lovable, but they weren't completely unlikable like they have been in a lot of other thrillers. The ending was a little bit of a letdown for me because there was an element that turned out to be different than what I expected, but at the same time it was very, very twisty and I didn't really know what was happening or like who done it for a little bit. This does have a lot of trigger warnings, which a lot of thrillers do. Harder topics and things like that. I feel like this one's on the light side compared to a lot of thrillers. I'm just very mixed because overall experience was fine, but I don't think it's something that I would ever read again, and I'm not sure if it was something I would recommend unless somebody really, really likes thrillers or wants something darker. I would say writing style, genre style, it's probably close to a 4-star. Personal enjoyment would be like a 3.5. Like I liked it. 3 is like a middle of the road star for me, so I liked it just a little bit more than that, and it was one of the better thrillers that I've read. And I think this might make my new spooky list. I'm not entirely sure. We'll have to see how this whole week goes. I was originally, because I was liking the writing so much, like gonna pick up a bunch more of Riley Sager's books, but I feel like it's something that I wouldn't want to put in the rotation a lot, but I could occasionally handle it because we just have a lot of darker, intense topic, and sometimes those can kind of like affect my mood or make me feel a little bit like on the sad side. So definitely good to kind of mix things up for me, and a good one to start the week off with because this was not too scary. So now I'm still physically reading Name of the Star. I've been crashing before bed. Haven't gotten a lot more in, but I am going to listen to We Have Always Lived in the Castle by Shirley Jackson. I have a list of like classic style Halloween books that I want to get to, a couple every year. Most of them I want to physically read. I'm going to try to finish Dracula sometime before the end of the year. Jekyll and Hyde, things like that. This one, again, might not be very scary, but I do think it's going to be a little bit that way, and it's only like a 5-hour audiobook, so I should definitely be able to finish this today. One more thing, I saw some reviews and things that people said this was kind of like a bad ripoff of The Haunting of Hill House, which I hope doesn't spoil that book for me because I have not read it. I was debating on reading Haunting of Hill House or We Have Always Lived in the Castle, and I chose this one. I'm not sure why. If I love it, I will still do Haunting of Hill House, but if not, I'll just save it for next year. So that is the plan for today. I have a lot of groceries and things to go get. So we're gonna go to Target. We're gonna check out the Halloween. We're gonna see if there's any Christmas out. We're gonna go to Marshall's because I'm on the hunt for a Christmas mug. There is a Disney Mickey Santa Christmas mug that I really want that I'm gonna be hunting for the next couple of weeks. And then I need to get some green paint for a Halloween project that I am doing. So hopefully I can listen to some while I do that, and I gotta come back and edit a bunch of vlogs. I'm so behind. I'll have the not so scary vlogs to finish editing, which those will be up by the time you see this. I have last week's vlog and now I have partially of this week's vlog, and I'm gonna do 2 more vlogs before the end. I wanna make sure to get most of them up in October. So I'll take you with me while we go shopping and do some things like that and listen to my audiobook. When I come back, I'm gonna physically read some as well. And tonight is bachelor night, so I can do some Halloween crafts while I watch the show. And yeah, that is what's happening. So I will see you later. It is now 5 p.m. on Thursday. I am so proud of myself because I just spent the last 2.5 hours editing the Not So Scary-a-thon reading vlog part 1. It is so late, you guys. I know at this point it's already up, but I wanted to have it up during Not So Scary-a-thon. I spent like almost 3 hours editing and then my computer crashed, and then something happened with iMovie and I didn't lose the footage, but I lost all the editing that I had done, and it just like took the motivation for me to get it done quickly like away. But now I'm like, I really want it up because I have a lot of vlogs and things to edit. I'm like behind on a bunch of videos. I was doing so good, so I need to get caught back up. So I just finished editing that one, feeling very proud of myself. I usually try to spend at least an hour editing videos to an hour and a half. If I spend too much longer, it starts to kind of make me just like stiff, so I try not to do it for that long, but we got her done. I am halfway through. We Have Always Lived in the Castle. I'm very confused, but I'm very intrigued. Very, very dark, and the narrator is doing an amazing job. I'm really invested in the story, but I'm also like concerned. I don't really want to say too much about it. I'm not sure like what's in the synopsis and what's not, but there's like this family and they live in this house, and there was like a murder, and there are 2 girls living with their uncle, and there's theories on the murder, and you're kind of like uncovering what really happened, and you're thinking like maybe one of the girls did it, and you're not really sure what's going on exactly. So very cool, liking it a lot. Couple of things. First up, if you see my band-aid, I hurt my hand at work. I literally just sliced my thumb a little bit on some cardboard. A whole thing. Last night at the little boutique, I got these bloody knife earrings that are like homemade. I mean, oh my gosh, how cute is these? So this is by Clawis Designs, and this is by a girl that's local to our area, but I thought these would be so cute for Scary Week for this weekend. So I'll find a cute outfit to go with it. Then I got Dracula in the mail. Saw this around the summertime and I was like, I have to have it. I have a different edition of Dracula. I still haven't read it, but I'm currently reading it. I saw this edition that has like a cloth covering and it has these beautiful end pages, but what really did it was the bats on the sprayed edges. Oh, so cute. And I haven't bought a classic in a while because I haven't been good about reading them, so I wasn't allowing myself to buy new ones, but we're reading it right now. So beautiful. I don't know if they have different editions that match this one because my other classics are all like Barnes & Noble classics. So I got this from Target when the books were like 20% off, and I have like a coupon and stuff, so absolutely love. My audiobook is like creepy, but it's not scary, which I felt like it could go either way. So this vlog, not exactly what I wanted it to be. I'm hoping to get 1 to 2 more books in this weekend. I have 3 days left, but some of the books are kind of long. Not sure what audio I'm starting next. I need to finish Name of the Star. I was hoping to physically read something this week, but I'm struggling really bad with my allergies this week, and it's just making me feel like really tired and crabby. So I'm just not as on top of things, but that's okay. Jeff is working late tonight, so I'm gonna go to Home Depot. I need to get some potting soil. We might look at anything Halloween that they have left because I haven't looked at that in a while. Maybe get some flowers. I have like a fall planter that I need to plant, and then I'm gonna walk Ledge because they have a cool like walking trail near Home Depot. So we're gonna go do that, and then I'm gonna come home, eat dinner, chill, and then when I come back I will check in and let you guys know how this audiobook is because I should be able to finish it during our walk. So I will see you soon. happy Friday the 13th. So I had a good time at Home Depot. It's basically Christmas now. They had like one tiny row of Halloween. I had a nice time walking Ledge. The atmosphere of like the wooded area, and then there were like freaking spiders growing over that area like everywhere, made it like extra creepy. So I finished We Have Always Lived in the Castle. I will tell you my thoughts about it a little bit later because I'm getting ready to head out the door. For today, I'm getting ready to go meet my mom at Home Goods because we have some stuff to do at the house, but I feel like I'm gonna go crazy if I stay here like all day. So I'm gonna go meet her, possibly have lunch, see if we can find some more Christmas stuff. I got a couple things yesterday. I'm not gonna show you though because we're gonna keep this like Halloween related. So I'm going to start Horror Store by Grady Hendrix. This will be my first Grady Hendrix. This is set in like an IKEA type store, and it's supposed to be like a haunted situation, and I think it's supposed to be kind of campy and fun. We do have a few things in the book that are kind of like mixed media type formats, but I don't think it's enough that I would physically read this over listening to it. So we're gonna listen to this. It's only a 3-hour audio. Should be able to finish this today and then do one more bigger book over the weekend. So I'll just take you with me. If there's any Halloween left at Home Goods, I will show you. I know I do a lot of shopping in these vlogs, but it's just kind of my way of getting out of the house since I work from home, and I don't buy things like every time I go in. I have like certain things in mind, or I'm looking for friends. So I just kind of like pop in and see what's going on because it changes quite a bit. So I think that is the main plan for today. So I'll take you with me, and then when I come home, we'll chat about the book that I read and the rest of the weekend reading plans. Back home, it is 3 p.m. I have not read or listened to any books today. I wound up having like a really long lunch talk with my mom and going shopping and then coming home, and I finished putting the final touches on my Not So Scary-a-thon vlog, and while I was driving I was listening to a podcast, so I didn't listen to my audiobook yet. I'm not gonna get it done today. I'm honestly not feeling the best. Like my stomach's kind of upset and I'm a little bit tired, so today is not going quite as planned. The vlog is not as fun as I wanted it to be, but hopefully you're still enjoying your time. I'm gonna get at least 2 more books in before I wrap everything up. So I think I am gonna put my audiobook on, and I'm going to clean the closet in my office and see if I have enough energy to do that. Then I might read a little bit, chill for a second. That's what's happening right now. I'll get a little bit of this done today and definitely finish it this weekend, as well as maybe 1 or 2 more short stories from my anthology. Alright, I've been cleaning for the last couple hours while I listened to Horror Store, and I got halfway through, which is really good because I was not thinking I was going to get that far. So I was just going to like lay down and chill, but I decided to just keep listening until Jeff got here. So I'm halfway through. So this is actually set in a knockoff IKEA. So there is an IKEA in this world, and this store is like a cheaper version of IKEA called Orst. I am not sure if this book is considered YA or not, but it has a very YA writing style and vibe, even though I feel like most of the characters are adults, so that's good to know going in. I always like to inform people of the writing style. I really like YA style books, so that doesn't bother me, but I know for some people it might bother them. Not scary at all. I feel like it's probably not going to be. I figured it might be like a little bit creepy, but really not at all. It's just very campy and fun and kind of clever and quick-witted, and you're just kind of like getting to know the characters and the store, and it's just kind of silly and fun right now. That is my update. I really like that there are little commercials for the store after like the chapters of the books. Reminds me of like Beauty Queens had that, and there's another book called Feed, and they have these little commercials and they're done by a different narrator, so it gives it kind of a mixed media feel, which is good because the book itself has the mixed media vibes slightly with the little inserts and things, so you're kind of learning about the store. Enjoying it so far. Not scary. None of these books are going to be scary. That's okay. That's okay. I thought it would be fun to just read them and find out together. I'm going to keep listening until Jeff comes home, and then I'm going to eat dinner, just chill the rest of the night. Unless I finish this tonight, I will see you guys tomorrow. Spoke too soon. We're right at the halfway mark, and it's starting to get disturbing and creepy and kind of gross. So pray for me. Hey guys, happy Saturday. So it is 1 o'clock on Saturday. Jeff and I got up and went to go get bagels this morning and to take Ledge for a walk, and I went to the library bookstore. They didn't have anything. And then I just kind of crashed when I got home. I'm just not feeling like 100% the best. And so I just kind of needed to chill for a second. So I only have 45 minutes left of Horror Store. And I want to take back a little bit of what I said yesterday, because when I say it has like a YA vibe, obviously like the characters are older, the situations are older, like they all have adult jobs and they're talking about like adult topics and things. Like the casualness of the conversations and just the writing style just kind of originally gave me a little bit of like just YA vibes. I hope that makes sense. But the middle part, this takes a drastic turn. It gets very horror-y, at least for me. It still stays kind of campy and fun, but it's definitely got some like more disturbing parts that are happening. So I'm not really sure how I'm gonna feel about this at the end. I only have about 40 minutes left, so I'm gonna finish this today. Today, my main goal is I'm going to decorate my kitchen and living room to get ready for my party next weekend. And then maybe some of the backyard, maybe a little bit more of the porch, and maybe the bathroom. I like to change over the decor a little bit when I do a certain kind of theme, set up like a cool area. The Halloween party is literally just for my parents, my sister, my brother, and my sister's boyfriend. We keep it nice and cozy, and I get to go a little bit more all out with the food and everything because we have such a small group coming. So I will kind of take you around and show you as I kind of work on that. I think we're going to stay home most of the day today. We might go and look at some Halloween lights tonight. I'm sorry this vlog hasn't been as much fun as I had planned in my head. I was gonna like read in the dark and do all of these things. I just haven't been feeling the most energetic this week. So hopefully you're still having a good time kind of hanging out with me right now. So that is the plan for right now. I will take you and show you a couple things like before and after I do things and finish my book and just kind of get this day going finally because I feel a little bit behind. Okay, so this is how the kitchen looks right now. Air conditioning unit is going to be covered because I'll have the blinds down. It's very, very messy. I honestly just threw a lot of my leftover stuff on the table. So this is what we're at currently. I'm definitely going to take everything off. I've got this cabinet with the witch's brew, and then I have some baskets that have like potatoes and stuff in them that I'm going to take down. Extra lights I need to put up. I've got this witchy sign I'm going to take down, and I'll leave a lot of this cloth up. This cabinet actually is kind of what I'm going for, but I'm probably gonna change it up. But this is kind of more what I'm wanting, like a laboratory, apothecary type vibe. So this is what I'm gonna work on first. Got my kombucha brewing over here. Hey guys, happy Sunday. 1:30 p.m. on Sunday. First of all, I want to apologize one more time for this vlog not being exactly what I had planned. Originally, I had planned on this being like a week of scary reading, and while I did read some books that I felt like might be on the scarier side, and I don't really have control over what's actually gonna scare me or not, I didn't read a couple of the ones that I really wanted to. I also think that I had like a mild cold this week. My stomach was just not feeling right. It was making my mood like a little bit worse, which is not the best for doing these kind of darker, somber, spooky reads. So not exactly the video I had planned, but we'll try to do something like this next week. I did finish Horror Store yesterday, and this was fine. It definitely was adult as far as the horror aspects, the age of the characters and everything. At first it just kind of had like a YA vibe with the way the characters were talking and stuff, but I take back that statement. I did not love this. It was a little bit more gruesome and heavy than what I was expecting. Like not overly heavy, it was still kind of campy, and the ending was kind of cool, and I feel like if you would like horror and kind of quirky books, you'll probably really enjoy this. But for me, the enjoyment level was just like a 3-star. I did really like the add-ins in the book, and I liked the commercials and things in the audiobook. Those made it a little bit more of an interesting reading experience, and it is probably one that I will recommend in the future because 3 stars kind of middle of the road for me. But I did not wind up starting any other audiobooks yesterday because I kind of just crashed. Jeff and I hung out. He made me chocolate chip cookies, a spooky mocktail, and then we watched the first Goosebumps episode, which right now is like on the edge of too scary for me, but it's okay. It's like slightly scarier than Vampire Diaries and like Wednesday, but I think I can handle it. It's got more like a Stranger Things vibe. So if the story stays really good, I should be okay. So I'll report back on that. I did work on a little bit of the kitchen yesterday, but I didn't finish anything. And I think I'm gonna use this as a teaser for next week's reading vlog, which will be decorating for the party having the party, and then jumping back into some more of my normal fall Halloween type reads. I've got some holds in that I've been waiting for like all month. Continuing on with Vlogween. Next 2 weeks should be a little bit more fun vlogging wise. I have my party next week, so I'll be filming that. We're going to a masquerade ball the weekend before Halloween. So hopefully you guys are enjoying these reading vlogs. I'm sorry that we haven't had a lot of other content besides the reading vlogs for October. I burnt myself out a little bit getting all the fall Halloween content in for the Not So Scary-a-thon week. We're gonna have a little bit of a chill November as well. I've got a few things planned, but nothing overly exciting until closer to Thanksgiving, which is when we'll start the Christmas holiday content. I will have the Jingle Bell-a-thon announcement shortly after October. Things are just like flying by like so quickly. It's making me a little bit sad. I'm so glad that I decorated early because I feel like it's almost over. We're gonna keep growing strong the last 2 weeks. So I'm gonna wrap this reading vlog up here kind of mid-Sunday because I don't want to start anything new in this reading vlog. Don't forget to check out the previous reading vlogs in case you missed those. Stay tuned for the new one. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at The Bright Side Girl if you haven't already. And I will see you guys next time on The Bright Side.